This is the Shrewsbury Biscuit, and I am Shane, your host for today. And with me is Dee.
Hiya, Shane. How are you feeling being in charge today?
Not doing good.
No, I can tell on your face.
Yeah, I'm not doing good. I actually, I just caught the end of the last interview because traffic is mental in town.
I know, because the thing is, it's a Saturday, and normally we do these in a weekday.
Yeah.
So I was coming in, and I came from Pontesbury, and I was driving along, and I was like, what is all this traffic? All these people should be at work. What are they doing?
I was really late leaving as well, so I didn't leave till about 10 to 1. I thought, I'll be fine. Be fine. Just whiz into town, like just park somewhere and just leg it to the parade. Nah, I had to park in Coleham.
And now you're doing this, and I was throwing you at the deep end.
Pretty much, yeah. So I've walked in, I've just settled down. He hasn't even bought me my coffee yet, and
criminal.
And now I'm in charge.
You can hear him chuckling in the background.
I know.
He knows he's in the wrong.
I'll sort him out later. So yeah, we are actually here today, and we have Shrewsbury's bailiff, Gary Dodd, with us today.
All right, Shane. Yeah.
Who's been doing a lot of amazing stuff across the board, which we'll go into later. But also with him is Tom Perrin.
Media manager for Shrewsbury Town Fisheries, warden of Reebrook.
You got to shorten that, mate.
That's a good title. No, I like it.
Do you?
It's a good title.
You do like good titles, don't you?
Oh, we're not going to get into that.
So, Gary, how long have you been doing the bailiffing?
15 years, mate.
15 years?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was that long.
Roughly about that long.
Good God.
What areas do you cover? Is it just like the Seven? Is it a certain part of the
all
Seven?
Shrewsbury Town Fisheries.
Yeah.
All along the rivers, our waters, pools. You don't have to do it once a day. I have to do it 4 or 5 times a day. So my average mileage is about 1,000 miles a week.
And are those including the pools that are privately owned, or are they all? Yeah,
private owned, yeah.
Got like Oxon Pool, haven't you, as well? Macecroft Pool, Radbrook Pool.
Did you used to do the Earlsdale fishery?
No.
No, because I know that one's closed now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we only cover Shrewsbury Town Fisheries.
Oh,
waters.
the ones directly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's owned by Shrewsbury Town Fisheries.
I bet you got some amazing stories.
We've got two. We've got a pool. We've got Oxon Pool, which is Shropshire County Council.
Yeah.
That belongs to. But we've taken it on. We're running it so.
So you have. So yeah. So what does that actually entail then, Gary? Like, you say bailiff, obviously. Like, what do you do? Like, what does that entail?
Well,
for someone who doesn't know,
I've had about 36 people this season that shouldn't be doing what they should be,
right?
Like taking and killing other fish
instead of catch and release.
No licenses, no permits. Fishing in the lockdown, and leaving rubbish about everything. We like it clean.
Yeah.
We spend £1,000 every peg on the fishery pegs. Cost us £1,000. We do get funded on a lot of stuff, but anglers' money goes back into the club.
Yeah.
So we do all the work that needs to be out of that money. It all goes back in. I've also been doing a lot of work for kids that really need fishing tackle.
Yeah.
I've probably given away about 3,000 quid's worth over the last month or two.
Oh, blimey.
That's amazing.
For kids with autistic, bad behaviour, learning difficulties and all that sort of stuff.
It's like I've got quite a few friends that are anglers and do it quite intensely when they go overnight and they do all those bits and pieces. And they're really passionate about the areas. They do it obviously with their licenses. So it makes me a bit confused about all these people who don't go by the rules, why they do it. Because my friends who do it, they do it because they're passionate about it. They love the fish. They do catch and release. And in fact, how often do you end up having massive problems, or does it just tend to be going around checking, you just get the odd one now and again?
We're on top of it now, to be fair.
Yeah.
They know I've got 8 bailiffs out, voluntary bailiffs with Tom Perrin and all the rest of them.
Got the police as well.
Yeah, we've got the police. We work with Wildlife Trust, and we've got a lot on our side. As you can see, I've got a radio, goes direct, and I get police response straight away. We have cameras. I've got a night vision camera as well and stuff like that.
Wow.
Is this something you've always wanted to do? Because it sounds a bit like with the night vision, sounds like an
I'm an
adrenaline
outdoor
rush
person, and I love helping people. I love fishing myself, but I don't get much time. I like to see other people happy.
Yeah.
And I like to see them enjoying what they like best, and to me, they come first before me.
Yes.
And I put everything first, so...
That is one thing which I've picked up on recently, following social medias and stuff, is that for the first time, from what I've seen for a while, is that the actual the Shrewsbury Fisheries sort of thing, Mousecroft and the other and banks and things like that are actually being looked after now.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was a kid, when I was sort of always on the bank and stuff before life happens, work and kids and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't the case. It was very much, you just had to make do with what basically. But one of the things I've seen massively since you've been very much more heavily involved is that change. Banks are being put in, pegs are being rectified and things like that, which is amazing.
Renovation. As well,
exactly.
We just want the banks safe for people. We're going to do a bit for disabled people as well. But as I say, every peg we put in is £1,000. Plus you got maintenance as well on top of that. So we do spend rather a lot of money. And I like to keep it that way.
So with regards to obviously you cover the entire stretch of the Severn through Shrewsbury kind of thing,
and I help other fisheries out as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I help, we work together with a few clubs and we help each other out.
So Prince Albert, that kind of stuff,
Prince Albert, Fenimore and Lymm and
share intelligence as well.
TAA and stuff like that.
So if you get repeat offenders, you can share them around a little bit, a bit like pub watch.
Because we have a bailiff in the Facebook thing, don't we?
Yeah, we have a private WhatsApp.
A private WhatsApp between us, and it's linked to other bailiffs. If they see anything on our waters, they give me a ring.
Yeah.
And we go and sort it. If we see anything on theirs, then they go and sort it.
So you're all connected.
We're all connected, and that's how I like to be.
That's good.
Work
Public
together.
as well. Public send us information.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
Do you get much from that then, from the public?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I've got a lot of public help. I mean, a lot of people have got my number, and I've been chasing. This is why I'm in my work stuff today. I've been chasing people off all day today,
Really?
So, yeah. I'm out 5 in the morning, and I don't get in till 1 o'clock in the morning.
What is your day-to-day? What's a normal
My
day for you?
is, I don't have a normal day. My day's continuously working.
Do you have a certain route you follow, or is it kind of going to pools?
Yeah, I've got a route that I follow.
Yeah.
It's difficult for somebody else to do it, to be fair. Because I've been doing it such a long time, it's a thing that I've got used to doing.
Yeah.
And I like doing it as well. But it's the same route for 15 years, over and over again.
Getting flashbacks from Vietnam now, isn't it?
24/7.
Yeah.
And I can get call outs at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have to attend.
And what about your safety when you're doing it? Do you go by yourself? Do you go in groups? Or do you always have to tell someone where you're going before you go?
I'm by myself, and I make the police aware that I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So if I ever need them, I've got my camera.
Or if they don't hear from you, they know where you're going.
Yeah. I mean, everything's, touch wood's been fine.
That's good.
I've had the odd couple of, things, but we've sorted it out.
What's your best story? Because obviously you've been doing this, you said, for 15 years. What is the most? You don't have to say the most intense.
Helping the kids, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a good
there's
thing.
pride in that, isn't there?
That's a good thing for me. It's people with low income, families that's been through hell and back, and the kids have been in care since they've been 2. I've got a young lad there, and his family disowned him at 2.
Oh.
And he's grown up now, and I told him if he's a good lad, I'll sort him out with fishing tackle, and I've sorted him out a load of fishing tackle. And yesterday I give a load of tackle away to, this lady called Emma. She works for, I think it's council or something.
Emma Wainwright, wasn't it?
Yeah, and she helps them all out, the kids that's naughty and autistic and had a rough life.
Yeah.
So I've given her 2 lots of fishing tackle, and they're loving it.
You're getting a lot of support from that as well, aren't you, from other anglers? I saw on social media and that you put in these appeals out for the kit, and you're getting inundated. You can't give it away fast enough almost, can you?
And we've got people that have come in there, what's his name, the old boy from Stan. He's come in, and
Stan Stedman.
Stan's amazing, brilliant bloke.
He wants to see the competition for kids, which we are going to be running. He's going to fund all the prizes, and every single kid there gets a trophy.
Wow.
There's no loser.
No.
So they all go away as if they're a winner.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is amazing.
That's what we want to do. Just want to encourage the young uns, keep them off the streets, stop them getting into mischief.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
Get them off the computers.
You see it all the time. Like you said, the computers, they're building these houses and estates left, right and centre all over Shrewsbury. Yeah. You barely ever see any new play parts being built. No. There's less and less for the kids to do. And I see on social media, there's one video put up this woman was kicking off because this young lad had a little, dirt bike thing, and he was going up and down this little track like on the side of a field. He wasn't doing any harm, just going up and down. And she was just like, get him off, and everyone was just like,
I think
he's not
that's when
hurting
people take
anybody.
the law into their own hand, isn't it? I think it's the farmer's responsibility of whoever the land is.
It's a bit of a difficult one, really, because I get that as well.
Yeah.
Not so much, but they know that I'm on top of that, because it is, sometimes they do tend to take off on these bikes down a public footway.
I've seen, when I've been walking my dog, I've had to dodge a few,
It's the same as Monkmoor Fisheries, there's a public walkway all the way around.
Yes, there is,
And you get them tearing down there on motorbikes and stuff. And
so that's different though, isn't it? I mean, if it's on public right away, then it's different. But I mean, just on a field in the middle of nowhere and not hurting anybody. I'm just like, well, they've got no parks to be in. 1 minute they're moaning that, that they're on their computers, on their tablets and that all the time. But there's no parks, no for them to go. And then you got things like the fishing stuff, because I mean, it's not cheap, is it? Setting up for fishing. And a lot of people can't afford to do that. And I mean, when I was growing up, as you know, I was heavily into fishing. I used to go all the time. I was quite fortunate because my dad had a load of stuff, so I used to nick all his stuff all the time and then go and break it most of the time. But so I grew up around those sort of circles. But I can imagine if someone hasn't got that influence in their life, and doesn't have access to the funds to then set themselves up, and then also tap into the experience to learn. It's you know what the hell to do.
And we're willing to learn the kids as well. I mean, there's Tom there and the other lads. We've offered to learn the kids if they've got no experience in the fishing. Fetch them along, ring me. We're willing to help them. But we've got a good council behind us. Ellen Ball and Mike Cox. We've got a good team of workers. Council.
You've got Adam Purnell as well.
Adam Purnell, he learns young guns, and we've got. Our top boss is Andy Jones from Total Angling.
He's a nice bloke,
He's absolutely done an unbelievable job. But me and Tom, we fetched a lot of custom into the club. We've had over 1,000 anglers join this year.
Really? Wow.
That's jumped up from 500.
To be fair, I still said to you on the phone, for the last few years, I haven't been bothered. I've been the town water licence, I'm not bothering. I'd just go to these pools further out of town. But after all the work that you guys have been putting in, all the care and attention you've been putting into the waters, I genuinely I've said to my dad, I'm like, I might actually at some point,
got to get back out there, Shane.
Get back out there, Show them all how to do it, don't I?
As you can tell, I'm not. I'm not much of a fisher. Just putting it out there, as you can tell by the way I look. But my parents live at a fishery, and I will not fish at all. I had a terrible experience when I was younger.
You're missing out.
Why won't you fish?
With my dad. My dad scarred my life when I was younger. We went out and we were on this big lake, and we were on a little boat, and it was the first time, my first experience fishing. Never again. And then they go and move to a fishery, and I'm like, I'm having nothing to do with it. He put me off. It wasn't catch and release. It was one they catch and kill and keep it.
But do you like fishing?
Like a trike fish.
I got lots of friends that fish, and they all fish, and I go along, but I don't participate in it because my dad's just ruined it for me because he's a sod.
You never know. You might get back into it.
Yeah.
Because there's loads of different styles of fishing as well.
Yes,
what's the different styles? So I know there's fly fishing.
There's fly fishing, usually for trout and salmon and grayling and all that sort of business.
And do they tend to be more in pools rather than in the
Tom's more onto the fly fishing than me.
Obviously, all our waters are catch and release. You've got the environment, and you can't. Like the Rebrook's we put a conservation order out saying no trout to be taken off our waters any time of the year. Mep spinners only, and it's all big.
And do they ever get restocked again, or is it just monitoring the numbers?
The Rebrook's quite interesting because I'm on the committee of the club further upstream, which is private land.
Yeah.
And they used to stock it for years. They used to stock brown trout, and I'd heard one time that they had put grayling in. They're the ones that got a graph. It was the mid-1950s or something. They put grayling in, and basically those stocks have come down naturally. And I know that now they've stopped stocking it, and they want it to be a wild trout fishery. So that comes up and down onto our section of the Rebrook.
How do they monitor how many fish are in there?
You get they had a wild brown trout trust in a few years ago, and they do all the stuff. Obviously, the Environmental Agency, they come and do. Obviously, I've done stuff with Shropshire Wildlife Trust, so we test the water. We're going to get more into that because Andy Jones the other day received a water test kit off the Environmental Agency. Obviously, we're working with the Seven Rivers Trust. There's a lot going on. and who we're
there is a
working
lot behind
with.
it because it's even aerating the water. Like, a lot of people don't understand that fish need air and they need oxygen. You get a lot of these pools that I drive past, and from my parents living in Fisheries, I look at it and go, oh God, that's got no air in it, or something like they need something going on. But it gets in your head, doesn't it? It's like I listen to them talking about it and then it fixes in my head and I'm like, I shouldn't know this stuff. And I like
then you're out for your first date walking with a bloke or whatever, and then you're like, that water needs some air.
I'm like that. They always turn around. As I say the most weirdest things, they go, fact of the day, and I'm like, stop it, stop calling this weird rubbish from living there. But that's the thing, because it was like I've never known how you check stock in especially pools. Like, how do you monitor it in the Severn?
Some weirs have counters.
Do they?
Yeah.
Shrewsbury Weir had one.
Shrewsbury Weir had one, but a certain person wanted it taken off, so. You know, and there was a camera as well in there that used to take picture. Every time a salmon had come past, it would click their sensor and take a picture.
Oh, wow.
But now
they've
stopped counting them now. I think
okay.
ever since this farming salmon's gone on, I think it's ruined a bit of salmon fishing now. And
because me and Auntie Jones went to the artificial screen.
Yeah, the weir now has just been full of salmon. I mean, salmon season finished on the 8th of October. The lads have to finish. Yeah. But it's like the salmon know, or the Environment Agency know, when the salmon are running. And then there wasn't a salmon seen all season, but all of a sudden when the season finishes, boof, they're coming through like mad, in the thousands.
And what time of year is that? Like you say seasons, what is the season?
Anything from the 8th of October for the last, what are we on now, 23rd, 24th?
Yeah.
And they've been jumping ever since, showing all along the river. I've been following them all the way.
People have been posting on Facebook, haven't they, for the Love of Shrewsbury?
I've been following them up the river and that, you know, where they've been jumping and watching them. And, you know, I knew they were on the way, so it's good for the people to come and watch. But
what was it like for you over lockdown? Because obviously you might not be
working all the way through.
Were you working all the way through? Did you have a lot of issues with people? Did you get a lot of people contacting you saying there's people here they shouldn't be?
A lot of issues with people fishing they shouldn't be.
Because I used to see people, because I worked through lockdown as well, and I'd be driving to work and I'd see people and they'd have all their rods and stuff with them, and I'd be like, oh God, you shouldn't be out, go home.
Oh, naughty.
Naughty. But yeah, that's what I was saying, because even if I'm seeing people, I can't imagine what you've had to deal with.
Oh yeah, I've been flat out since lockdown.
And what is it, the process?
That's from when
you go through, do you just come to move
January,
on?
February,
because I was a key work in education. I work in education, so I was a view at some point.
Yeah.
But it was quite intense.
I've had about 36 or 38 resolution orders issued by the police, fines where the money goes back into the club. Bans,
so what's the so, you know, say you got out and you found somebody fishing without a license.
Then they get reported to the Environment Agency. We take all the details. They're banned off the fishery then.
Yeah.
You can confiscate their stuff as well, can't you?
I can't confiscate it, no. But if the police is at present, then the police can take it.
Right.
And then they pass it to me, and then it gets passed on to the Environment Agency. And then they're not allowed the stuff back. It goes to the kids who will make decent use of it.
Yeah.
So what is it? Because obviously it's kind of like, it is very much taking the law into your own hands. Obviously the police are involved in it. Yeah. What is it if they try to run? Are you allowed to do a citizen's arrest? What is the whole
I'm allowed to search them. Allowed to search the car, the bags. I can restrain them, hold them. No physical. As long as I've got picture and it's been reported through.
Well, so you have your body camera on.
Yeah, and I've got the body camera as well. I have. That's in the van, but yeah. So everything's recorded, and when it's recorded, town council watch it, police get it, they go and visit them, and then they decide what they want to do. We've had a person at Radbrook, he had a brand new van. He was a worker from Telford, come down, decided he wanted to take some fish out of Radbrook, but he lost his van.
Wow.
They took his van and all his tools, everything off him. He lost everything because he was
poaching,
stealing the fish and taking them back in a tank.
Yeah, I've heard about people doing that before. Yeah.
They've taken, the Environment Agency have got the power, more than the police, to take anything that they possess. That they, if they're poaching, stealing, they've got no license or anything, they can take whatever they've come in.
Is there any other stuff that along the riverbanks that you monitor as well, like not just fishing?
Yeah, I monitor the otters, I monitor all the mink. I monitor everything that's going on around me, everything, and it's all dotted down, you know, and I remember everything.
Yeah. I mean, so obviously, you get called out sometimes last minute or urgently for people at poaching and stuff.
Yeah.
I know that because I remember my old man years ago was a bailiff for a very short time for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I kind of went with him a couple of times, and sometimes it got a little bit confrontational. It got nasty sometimes.
I've had that.
How do you deal with that? I mean, do you just talk to him? Do you just walk away?
Well,
okay?
I can't comment on one. Otherwise, we're going into too much detail there. But we did have one that was threatened to punch me. Well, he went to one of my bailiffs, and he went to bite a young lad of 14.
Bite him?
Bite him, yeah. And then he come for me, but he also had an hammer with him.
Good God.
What goes through some people's head shops?
I had to do. Put it this way: I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah. Well, it's self-defense, isn't it? Yeah, ultimately.
But these things you don't want to do.
Yeah, of course.
And my council is aware of that. I've got to protect my bailiffs.
Yes.
And I've got to protect myself.
Yes.
What about when
and themselves?
I know
to be
some
fair,
people, I've seen some anglers and they have dogs with them.
Yeah.
And I know when I've walked past before, the dog goes a little bit ape.
Well, I've just had 3 now today. They've been leaving lots of rubbish. I ain't going to say no names. They've been warned 4 times. They have 4 dogs with them. And the tins, the dog tins with meat tin, bottles, cans of beer.
Yeah.
I've just wiped them off now today. They've banned for life.
So do you have a little black book, as it were?
Yeah, I've got a black book. Yeah.
A mental one.
I've got a black book. Well, I can remember the names. But we've got over 1,000 anglers. And I don't have any problem with the anglers. We don't have any rubbish left. It's pretty clean. They know the rules, don't they, Tom? We're on top of it.
I think the ones that want to be doing it properly love doing it, and they're going to look after the area, aren't they?
Not all Eastern Europeans are bad. We do get some bad, but we get some bad English people as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not racist in any way. I do what I do.
Yeah.
And they know that I'm on top, and they know how to. They know they can't break the law now on the fishing.
I think it's a lot of it. People need to be aware of what the law is. Like in a lot of places, it could be very different. How do people go about getting a license for it? And is there any other stuff they need?
If you go online to
it's a Gov website, isn't it? Yeah.
Gov website fishing, you can buy a license for £30.
Is that for 12 months?
That's for 12 months, or you can buy a day license. I think it's about
£6, isn't it?
6 or 7 quid. And but if you get caught without them, that's more valuable than not having a permit.
So you used to be able to pay on the bank, didn't you, years ago?
It's online now.
Can you still do that now or not?
Not on our fisheries.
They can get a tap on the hand and a telling off if they haven't got a permit, or if we think they're genuine and they've left the money at home or they've got no money, then I say to them, look, I'll let you fish today. Make sure you pay next time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to charge.
Pulled over in your car, you haven't got your license on you, isn't it?
And I've done it to a few people. It doesn't matter if my boss knows because I tell him. I mean, if they haven't got the money, they're hard up, then there's no big deal.
So you wouldn't go shooting without your shooting
No,
license?
I'm not going to kick them off. I'm just going to say next time, make sure you pay.
Yeah.
Fish today, and that's it.
That's what it's all about, though, isn't it? And ultimately, especially like you said, if someone's genuine and is genuine, I've completely forgot, or
I'm
left
a fair
it at home,
person, Shane. If anybody, tries to pull the wool over my eyes, or tries to, misbehave or untidy or foul mouth to any other fishermen or threatening, then they're gone. It's as simple as that.
Well, you hold a standard, don't you, on the fisheries?
Because everything's going sweet. It couldn't be going better. We're one of the biggest clubs in Shropshire. Probably
one of the ones.
Especially with another 1,000.
Getting there slowly.
We're a massive club. It's massive.
Have you seen a massive growth in fishing recently?
Oh, yes, massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
So, Tom, with your insanely big job title...
Previous club, I was an acting chairman, liaison officer and secretary.
Yeah, to say you were a secretary. I remember that.
A long time ago.
He does a great job on the media and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
So you run the Facebook then?
Yeah.
Basically.
At the moment, it's getting all the equipment. You can have a custom-built computer come up from Ashford in Kent, so it's like building all that up. And
it takes time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
What kind of stuff goes on the Facebook? What do you post?
Obviously, you have to be careful because obviously we have to GDPR laws. It all has to be above board and professional. It's just photographs of the catches, the news, what's going on, who's doing what we're doing, what we're planning.
So it's more positive.
And stuff like that. It's obviously we don't just have people with huge fish.
Yes.
We have people with this
little stuff
fish
as well.
a lot. I mean, we were always honest. If someone says it's this weight, we put this weight up. Sometimes we get a little bit of criticism. It doesn't look that big and stuff like that. Obviously, people message the page a lot. They ask for information. You direct them.
It's really nice you're saying that you're honest as well, because you get it all the time. And again, I've been around these circles for ages. The amount of times when someone shows you a picture and you're like, "Oh, where have you had that? What was that on?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. I can't tell you that."
We don't do any of that. It's not.
Can't tell you that. And you're just a bit like, "Why? Why are you being all cloak and dagger about it? Like, it's a fish."
It's like obviously I do the media, and obviously one of my main passions is the Rebrook under Shrewsbury Town Fisheries. And I started in 2016 the Rebrook fishing page, and it was just showing and it's highlighting. It's brought more interest and stuff like that.
You get people who aren't anglers that are still going to be to the Facebook page and watch it.
We get a lot of general members of the public, encouragement. Obviously, like Stan said, he's fantastic. Other people, you get people give you intelligence who'll say, and obviously, like I remember one time a woman was messaging me and I was forwarding it on to Gary. Gary was then down
mobilised,
there, down there. Like I met up with you.
Yeah,
and then
that's the best way to, especially having a platform that people can contact you on, where they don't feel like afraid to do it. And I feel that's the best way. Instead of people taking the law into their own hand, where they're going over to someone going this, if they do it correctly, where they contact yourselves and they do it that way, then at least everything's done above board. Isn't it?
Yeah.
This is what I was saying before about people taking the law into their own hands. It's not always safe for them to do that because they don't know who these people are. They're not trained to deal with these. They have no experience in it. It's always best to go the right route and contact you guys.
Well, we use the police a lot as well. They're on board straight away now. It never used to be so. They never used to come in so quick, but now they're fast. We've got an officer who works with us, Phil Knock, and he's great. He's there when you want him. He sorts it out. He goes round. He issues the resolution orders. It's good for him as well.
Do the police contact yourself as well?
Yeah. I have to sign them, fill them in. Yeah. There's a lot of paperwork sometimes, but they learn a lesson.
Yes.
It's all about learning a lesson. They get these resolution orders. That means they go on the criminal record thing.
Yeah.
That means any more, it's up to us if we ban them or keep them on.
Yeah.
And let them do it
so
proper.
Even if you've had a resolution order or issued that to somebody, I take it then you still probably more than likely give them, say, all right, you've had that now, or do you just straight away ban?
It depends, that Shane. If they've killing other fish and taking fish, then we don't let them back.
No.
But if they've had a resolution order, we can take them back and me and Andy Jones can have a discussion and say, look, should we give them a chance?
Yeah.
And to be fair, there's not many that will get a chance with a resolution order, but some will.
Yeah,
some will. It depends of what.
I suppose it's the way they react to it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and
it's their attitude towards us as well, and stuff like that.
So, obviously, moving forward, if someone is then looking to then become a bailiff, or obviously, God forbid, you end up retiring.
Yeah.
And then
I don't want to retire.
Long time.
I don't want to retire.
But you're 15, 20 or whatever, however it'll be at that point. Experience would be So what advice would you give to somebody who's then coming step into a role?
You mean if I finished?
Yeah.
If I finished, I'd like somebody to do what I can do.
Yeah.
And I'd guide them through the right
I'd say, would you
and
let
help
them
them.
shadow you?
Would you have an apprentice?
I would stay on and I wouldn't do the bailiffing so much. But I would stay on and help them
on the committee,
and stuff like that, and I would go round with them and help them out, and still teach young guns and still help out.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure there's always things to learn. I'm sure you're always learning.
I'm so exhausted sometimes. It's unreal because I never stop. And
you're getting no younger, are you, mate?
I know. My missus says, will I see you today, or will I see you later, or
nope.
Do you find you're a lot more quieter in the winter?
Not really. I'm still going the same all year round.
Yeah.
Still, winter time, out of season fishing is probably one of the worst where they do fish. They continue to fish.
True,
They probably think the fishermen are off, the bailiffs are off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very true.
So I'm working still flat out all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, you said about the the competitions and that for the kids and stuff, we're more than happy to be involved with that.
Oh yeah.
If you would, it'd be great. Yeah,
we can be involved with that. We can cover it. We can even set up, because we've got this this cool little gadget here, the H6.
The whole of our studio's portable.
Yeah,
that's runs on batteries, so we can literally go to the bank and we can record on the bank.
Yeah, that's good.
So we can promote it and stuff.
And Al's always very keen on stuff.
That's brilliant.
We're happy to work with you and do anything we can, really.
Excellent.
Especially push it on social media and stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
It'd be really good as well to go around, during the competition.
Any competitions we have on, Shane, you're welcome to come and, come along and do what
participate, Shane.
What, against all the kids?
You're welcome to come and give us an hand.
I'd lose.
You're welcome to come and give us a hand anytime.
So he turns around and says, everyone wins at the end apart from Shane.
Even Shane will get a trophy.
I'll get a trophy.
Don't say that.
I want a trophy now. To be fair, I remember years ago, I was only actually ever involved with one competition, and I will say his name, because he's unfortunately passed away now, quite a few years ago actually. Do you remember Ron Cookson?
Ron Cookson rings a bell, that name.
He used to live on Meal.
Yeah, I've heard of that name.
No, years ago, he's sort of like, he's heavily involved with the fishing lot and stuff. Yeah. And he's quite fond of my dad and obviously and Tim and with me. And there was one competition I went to when I was a kid, and I can remember we were all fishing, and it turned up, he's a really old guy at the time, and he had these, I'll never forget, he had these massive, huge, like, thick glasses. Do you know what I mean? Massive, huge ones.
I'm trying to think I remember him.
And
I've heard of the name.
And I can remember him sitting there, and he sat next to me on the bank, just chatting, and he was tying a fly. And he was sitting there for hours, just tying this fly. And I remember just sitting there, just looking at him like, I wasn't even fishing, I was just watching him doing this fly, in absolute awe. Cause I was
brilliant the way they do it, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he sat there with his little box, like little tray on his lap, on his little box, like, and he had all this like stuff set up on a little pincer thing with the hook on it, and he was just tying this fly on the bank, and I was like,
brilliant, isn't it?
What are you doing? I just remember watching him. And
it's interesting because the Reedbrook, was it like I was doing it today on the website. I think it's like English Civil War era. There was a chap called Thomas Baker, and he became Oliver Cromwell's cook. And he was one of the very first people to publish an angling book called The Art of Angling. A copy went for thousands at an auction a few years back, Bonham's auctions, and he was from Brace Meal.
Really?
Meal Brace. He was one of the first ever people to publish fly fishing reel illustrations and fly tying. Yeah. And he was from Meal Brace, and he actually would have fished on our waters, our section of the Reedbrook.
So is the fly tying, is that basically where you're making your own fly?
Yeah, so you get like a hook, and you'd have like, your all different types of material on it.
And I've seen some, they have feathers on it.
Mayfly is one of the best.
Yeah.
A good fly.
There you go, top tip for people. Heard it here first.
Types depending on what style of fishing you're doing as well?
Pardon?
Do you have different types of flies depending,
or
is this just
You have fast sinkers, slow sinkers, dry flies, nymphs,
wet flies,
shrimps, all sorts.
What about live bait, or do you put live bait with it?
Daddy long legs, all that sort of business. Yeah, they have all that.
You can have one that looks like a frog. When you put it
to be honest with you, you don't see many people fly fishing on a carp pool. But if you was to try it, I think you would bang the carp out.
Well, I once watched my dad. Well, this wasn't even that long ago, really. I was standing in my parents' kitchen looking out the window, and my dad was fly fishing. Yeah. And it was the most entertaining thing ever because he kept getting stuck in the hedge behind him. And me and Mum were just in tears laughing at him. He was getting angry at it, going like...
It's better
every French word came out.
It's better stuck in the edge than in the side of your ear.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen that a few times. Or in the act.
In the act, yeah.
So there was something else I wanted to ask you as well. So along the riverbank in the quarry, I haven't seen as many anglers there as I have
in the quarry. Because
what's the regulation?
The thing is now is because of this COVID business. Yeah. We don't have anybody, as you noticed, the runners ain't running now either. They've stopped that. We've stopped all. You can fish it. You can still fish it, but you've got to make your own way, and you've got to find your own parking now. This is probably why that you've not seen so many. Yeah. Until all this is over, and then we can get the competitions back on the road. But I think it's going to be 12 months or more.
I was going to say
it's going to be a couple of years, like.
But wouldn't you say that might not be a bad thing for the water in some ways?
Well, no, it'll rest it. Shane, but the only trouble is it's going to get decimated by goosanders and cormorants. Yeah, and that's the only problem. The anglers won't catch the fish. The cormorant will destroy them, and goosanders they'll just wipe it out. You know, when
do the otters affect the amount of fish you have? Because a lot of people say you go through life and you never see an otter. Where I used to live, I used to live along the river, near the English Bridge.
Well, that's where I was just going to say. There's an otter there.
I used to live right opposite the little entrance where you used to come in the marine terrace houses. I used to stand there. I used to watch all the otters come out. People were like, "I've never seen an otter before."
I got a phone call off a girl from there. She's got an old station. I can't remember her name.
Oh, she's got long blonde hair.
There's two ladies. Do you know what I mean? They're not the partners.
Yeah.
Do you know the ones I mean? And she rings me up and tells me when there's people down there in the gardens fishing. Because you're not supposed to fish in that garden by the English Bridge.
The one on the opposite side.
Yeah. You know, where the head of the brook comes in and that.
I know you mean.
And she rings us up and tells us, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, I've seen someone there before when I used to live there.
Yeah, and we did have a salmon caught out of there, and they left the head of the salmon on the bin.
Yeah.
How nice of them.
You know,
only cover your tracks if you're going to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, at least
they took the salmon and just took the head off, and just that was foreigners. That was, but
yeah. Have you got anything else to add?
No, that's it. Sorry, I've just been throwing my questions in throughout.
No, it's good.
The only last thing, we just got to watch it when we get the floods because of trap fish.
Yeah, cool.
In the fields, you know, with the dips.
And with the floodplains.
Do you go around and collect the fish?
I have to go out and collect them, I've tried to rescue as many as I did at Atcham, didn't I?
Those chaps out at Atcham last year.
We had some pike there trapped.
Really?
They were about £15-20 the pike were.
Good God.
And I can imagine quite a few got stuck in the show.
I saved about 6 or 7, I think.
Wow.
But the rest were just, you have to chuck them back.
I was going to say, because, the river used to be teeming with pike, and then it kind of went quiet for a bit, didn't it?
Our industry stretch is quite good.
Yeah.
It's just got to keep an eye on Monkmore now, because they're doing a wildlife thing along the field. What's it, Tom?
They're digging all those pools in, aren't they?
They're having like a pool thing on the side.
Oh, like wetlands.
Yeah. So when it gets flooded, that's going to trap fish. That's going to be a trap for the fish. So we've got to keep a close eye on that now.
So it's another thing you'll have to do.
Yeah.
Keep adding
to the
list.
Yeah. Got to keep you busy, mate. Keep you on your toes.
I like to have a sleep sometimes. You know.
But guys, so if someone wanted to get in touch with you for whatever reason, or get more information, or even report something or whatever, where can they find you?
It's on the sign, Shrewsbury Town Council sign.
Message the Facebook page, Shrewsbury Town Fisheries.
Okay.
Or Rebrook Fishing.
That more basically go through to you, wouldn't it?
I just direct them then.
And then you go tell Gary.
And it goes in, We get messages all the time.
All hours in the morning.
Yeah. But guys, I think it's fascinating, and it's really nice to actually hear that people are actually starting to care about the waters around Shrewsbury again. Like as I said, for years, that I've personally felt that that's not been the case. Historically, especially in my sort of early teens, sort of thing. It went very quiet, and you just didn't. You're paying all this money into the system, as it were. And nothing's coming out.
Come alive now, isn't it?
It really has.
I put all my heart into it. Everything I do, I work hard, and I just want them to respect it.
And it shows, mate. It really does show. I went for a random walk around Mousecroft, I think about a year ago now.
It's nice now, doesn't it?
And I walked. I was like, whoa, what? It looks completely different, because before it had that massive bank, and it was all
Paul Pat, didn't we, a few months back with Clay, where it was leaking, all new French style drainage pathways. Pegs from Oxon have been recycled and put in, and all pathways, and the public have been enjoying it as well. And they've seen the positivity.
It's not just bailiffing I do. I put all the signs up as well. You see all the signs that's up, I stick up. I do pegs as well. And I do a lot of stuff, don't I, Tom?
Here, there, everywhere.
Always on the go.
Yeah.
But guys, you really have, you're amazing, and like I said, anything we can do to help
you're welcome,
with any competitions or anything like that, please just drop
I
us
think
a
you should
message.
have a live fish off on our waters.
Thank you. I know you someone to say that.
We need to get this lady some tackle and get her back on the bank.
We keep saying we're going to do these things, and we've said we're going to have a tennis competition, but this
terrible pandemic,
do it. I think it's the only good thing that's come from this horrible situation we're in, that we haven't had to play that tennis tournament.
We'll have a fish off now as well.
We'll have to have a fish off now as well. Yeah.
Stop it.
I just want to see you in waders, because that's going to be hilarious.
With all this COVID thing going on, fishing, honestly, you want to be egg fishing.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's good for you.
To relax you.
It's good for you.
I know, it's brilliant. All my
You
friends
can't have your nails though, and
don't criticise my nails.
you can't put your eyelashes on while you're fishing. They don't care.
This is a skill. It's an art.
Is
form.
it?
I want to see you try and put eyelashes on.
I would own eyelashes.
But thank you so much for
You're
coming.
welcome.
It's
No
been
problem.
so lovely to meet you.
And you.
And anyone who's listening, go and check them out on their socials, as well as our socials and our website, which is the shrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk, done by our wonderful friends at Web Orchard. And Shane, you've done brilliant.
I know. Apart from my introduction.
No, you're good.
I stumbled over myself a
Needs
little
what
bit.
bit editing can do.
Yeah.
Top man, now, Shane.
Over to Al.
He's getting there.
Over to Al.
Brilliant. So thank you guys.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
thank you very much,
Thank you.
guys.
All right,
Take
thanks,
it easy.
Shane.